Welcome to another Inner Growth Lounge, and I'm super excited today because I have here with me Marissa Warren. Welcome, Marissa.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Marissa is a globally renowned hypnotherapist and transformational consultant working with RTT and QHHT, which you're going to explain in a little bit, and tantric embodiment, breathwork, and sound healing. It all sounds so interesting. Please explain what you're really working with and what got you here, please.
Thank you. Yes. So, rapid transformational therapy is a combination of hypnotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, neuro linguistic programming, and psychotherapy. So, I basically put people into hypnosis and then do therapy modalities with them. And quantum healing hypnosis is the past life regression hypnotherapy. And then the somatic and tantric embodiment work that I do is all about bringing that connection to the mind and the body back together. So what I realized was I could work on the mind very quickly and we could work on whatever the presenting problem was. But then I found that clients still had other things going on. There was still trauma stored in the body, or there was still that disconnect within the body that they had had through many years and had never really kind of felt within their body. So there was still that misalignment between feeling like they were truly living in their authenticity and sovereignty and alignment. And for me, I love working with my clients, but I love even more when I empower them to utilize their own inner magic and innate healing potential and possibilities to be able to navigate through life easier and to have new skills and resources. So the offering that I offer is probably very different to any other hypnotherapist that's out there, which I love. And these therapies and modalities and the work I do came from a combination of me going through using these modalities myself in my everyday life, going off and doing training and studying, and then implementing them with my clients. So they're tried and tested techniques, and I know that they work. And I tell my clients that when you come to work with me, you're going to leave with far more than what you think you've come to work with me for. And just trust the process, because I'm probably going to get you to do things and challenge you in ways that you have maybe never felt before or never experienced before. But when you can move through this time in a really safe, supportive space, it just cracks you open and it creates just such long-lasting transformations. So I love the work I do. I love my clients. I love seeing the results that they get.
So, what part of you in your process of life, like in your path, got you doing this? I mean, what was your why, or what is your why?
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's been an all roads lead in the right direction. I feel like I've had so many experiences that have happened to me throughout my life, and, some great, but some really not so great at all. Sometimes when things happen to you in your life, no one would consciously ever seek out those experiences to happen to them, right? But it's not so much about the event that's happened to you. It's how it's shaped your life and the meaning and the interpretation you've given to that event. So when you go through something in life, are you using that as an opportunity to turn your pain into power and alchemize and transmute through that to transform your life? Or will you let it cripple your life? So for me, I'd had all of these experiences happen in my life, and I've lived a pretty full, colorful life. So now when I work with my clients, I'm like, there's nothing that you can do or see or say that is going to shock me or surprise me, because I've probably done it or I've had experience with it before. So I was in the beauty industry for 23 years. And then my dad passed away 4 years ago, and I just felt like my whole world imploded. And I was like, I don't want my next 40 years to be like my last 40 years. And I just woke up and I was like, and quite often people don't make change until they're forced to have to make change, right? And I was like, I just don't want to live this life anymore. Like, my soul is dying and it's calling out for more. And I'm not meant to live a life where I work 9 to 5 and I wake up and I work, sleep, eat, repeat. Like, that's not me. That's not my soul. That's not my life. So I packed up my house. I went traveling through South America for 4.5 months and sat with shamans and was out in the Amazon and just lived life and took time off life for a couple of months. And I'd already started to do some of this work before I left. And then I got back and just kind of focused in on it. And I truly feel that this is my legacy work. Like, this is the work I'm meant to be doing. Like, this is truly my soul's passion and purpose. And I now know, because after you get, well, when you get to a certain point and you can like zoom out and have a different perspective over your life, I now know that because that significant trauma event happened to me, it was a sliding doors moment. But because that event happened, it made me take different actions and have different thoughts, and different situations and scenarios came about because of that. Not necessarily great, but if I hadn't have gone through those experiences, like, then I got to a point where I could look back and connect the dots and go, okay, well, because of those experiences, it's where I am now. And where I am now is exactly where I'm meant to be in life. And I love, love, love the work that I do. I love waking up every morning. But if I hadn't have gone through those experiences in life, I probably wouldn't be where I am. And I probably wouldn't be as successful as what I am with my work that I do either.
It's amazing how you are called to take more different actions, and how many people choose because it's been given to us, like, this is how it is. It has to be stressful and not enjoying your life, and this is how everybody is. So when the calling is here for you, it's not everybody. You see it from our clients as well. I mean, our clients are the ones that are realizing, like we did at that point, because also for me was this shocking moment that you go in life and it's like you wake up and you see, oh, I don't want this, I want something different, and you don't even know what it is, but you just know that it's not that. so many people are stuck in that, right? Are stuck in that, not making the decision to change it because they have convinced themselves that this is it. It's 9 to 5. It shouldn't be enjoyable. It shouldn't be fun, and they just stay there.
Yeah.
So how do you help them with hypnotherapy? What does it do? How does it work?
Yeah, well, I'm all about make change easy, because I think when people come to see me, I'm normally quite often the last resort. Like, they've been in therapy for years, they've seen counselors, psychologists for years, nothing's working. And some of them are like literally at their last resort. And when you've been living and conditioned yourself to live a certain way and think a certain way for so long, and if your nervous system is completely depleted and fried and you've gone through trauma and it's compacted, when you think about making changes in your life, it can feel really overwhelming, because quite often you don't have the mental, physical energy or clarity or drive or motivation to want to, or to be able to make the changes you need to have those changes in your life. So outside of the hypnotherapy, I give them practical skills and tools to make little micro shifts, to habitually layer stack, changing the way that they're already doing things to create a different intention and different change. But the thing I love about hypnotherapy is that it's bringing your conscious and subconscious mind into harmony together. So your conscious mind is like the loud mind that you hear all the time. It's like that voice you hear in your head. The subconscious mind is like the silent assassin. So that's the one on autopilot running the show. So this is why resolutions don't work, because consciously you're thinking and saying to yourself, I don't want to live this life anymore. I want to live better. And say, for example, like weight loss, like this is just an easy one to give an example for, but you say to yourself, okay, January 1st, this year is going to be my year of health. I'm going to go to the gym as soon as it opens on like 4th of January. I'm back there, right? Your alarm goes off on Monday morning. You've scrolled on your phone late last night. Your alarm goes off and you're like, I don't want to get up. I'm tired. So you turn your alarm off and you go back to bed. So consciously, you want a different outcome, but subconsciously it's going to keep you in a state of comfort and safety, even though it's probably not the best place to be in, because your mind doesn't know the difference between positive or negative, right? It's just going to act on your commands regardless. So when you start working with that subconscious mind, it's kind of like you've had your neural pathways are like running in one direction. So it's like one path that you've walked continually for so long, and like you've worn down the grass, you've worn down the track. That path goes down and it goes off to the left. When it goes off to the left, it's hitting a dead end. So it's not giving you the results that you want, but that's the only route, that's the only option you've got. When you start working with hypnosis, and what we do is we get right to that root cause of whatever is going on, then we release it and we recode and rewire your subconscious. So what happens now is you're walking down that one path, and then all of a sudden there'll be a path off to the right. Now it's up to you to take that action to create a different result, to move down that path down to the right. Otherwise, you'll keep going down to the left and hitting the dead end. So now what will happen is you'll start to have new thoughts come into your mind. So when your alarm goes off on a Monday morning and you're tired and you're like, I just want to snooze, you might have a thought pop into your mind now that goes, you're already awake, you've just turned off your alarm. You'll know you'll feel better if you get up and move your body for a little bit. So the choice is yours. You can either get up and feel better or go back to bed and then guilt yourself for the rest of the day. So this is where like you have to take aligned action, and you have to, change comes from change. You have to do the physical work along with the mental work as well. So I love it because you're really getting deep into that, right into the subconscious. With my clients, I have a really great ability to be able to get really deep into that subconscious to really extract exactly what's going on, because there's always a reason for everything, right? Like, you might not think it is what it is, but there is a core root cause and a reason for why things are manifesting in your life and why you're not living where you want to live. And it's also as well, like, I don't want to say to people that you will never not have a negative thought again, because that's unrealistic, because you will. Everyone, it doesn't matter what level of life or success you're at, you will probably still have moments where you're like, oh, I'm tired, or I don't want to do that, or you feel unmotivated or whatever, right? Because we're normal, we're human. But the difference is how fast can you recalibrate back from that and continue to keep moving forward.
It's like you're getting the fast lane with hypnotherapy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do we create these limitations and the self-sabotaging as well? How are these created? And then, because of what I understand with hypnotherapy, you touch on to these ones, the limitations and what you're doing to sabotage yourself in moving forward. And you're just shifting them to the new direction of being able to achieve stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, limitations and the reason why you're self-sabotaging can come about from so many different reasons. So generally, most things come from a belief system that was formed and imprinted on you, most likely from a childhood. And what happens is, up until the age of 7, a child doesn't actually cognitively have their own thought process, which means that every thought that they're thinking has been formed by the environment around them, which is why kids are like parrots, right? So if you say one thing, it's like they latch onto it and they say it continually. So you have to always like watch what you're saying around a child. I'm sure everyone's slipped up with a word and then a child has said it and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting in so much trouble when they go to school. So they're like little sponges. And then when you realize that a lot of these belief systems were imprinted on you as a child from the environment around you, but then that also means that the people that were imprinting onto you as a child were imprinted onto as a child themselves from their environment, the cycle continues down, right? So it's kind of like part of that ancestral trauma. So then you realize, hang on, like these thoughts, these belief systems, they're not even mine. Like, they're not even my thoughts to be thinking. So then you realize, well, if they're not even mine, and if I've created in a part this situation that I'm in, that means I can choose to uncreate it and recreate it at any time I want.
True. I think this is one of the most empowering aha moments one has in their personal development process, to understand that, whatever you have been doing is because it's been given to you and you can change it. You can absolutely, it's just, it takes effort, is what you said before. You can change the thought, but also you have to align the action. It's not just staying in our mind, right? But I feel that this is very empowering when you get to understand that you can do this and what's happening. So what is your vision? What would you like to leave as your legacy? Because you mentioned it before.
Yeah, do you know, I feel like I have such big goals and dreams in my life and in my business. And I mean, I have so much going on this year in my business. And my goal for next year, I would love, like my life goal is I would love to buy land. I'd love to have some land in Australia and then also in Costa Rica. And I'd love to build a wellness sanctuary. My dream for this is that there's beautiful land where people are living off the land and, you know, fresh fruit and organic fruit and veggies. And there's a healing center there with different healing modalities. And I really want a space where people can come and be cocooned in a beautiful, like, little vortex and heal and be able to make positive changes within themselves and in their life to be able to then go back home to also inspire others to make changes. So yeah, I think for me, like, my legacy, I guess, is contributing overall to that bigger picture of that rippling of the global consciousness and helping to heal, well, helping people to heal themselves and helping as many people as possible.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So you have published your latest book, I mean, a few days ago, right?
Yeah, like yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I lost my time. Yesterday. Yeah,
Yes.
where can we find it and what is it about? Tell us a little bit about your book
Yeah,
and
so
how
this
they can
one,
get it.
thank you. So this one's a anthology book. It's called Become an Unstoppable Woman Entrepreneur Part 2. So you can find it on Amazon in all of the Amazon countries. And the ebook's out now. So yeah, launched yesterday. It's already hit 11 in the top categories, 11 top categories, sorry, in USA Amazon and 8 in Canada Amazon, which is amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. So my chapter is called Break Free. So it's about helping to release the inner critic and imposter syndrome and step into visibility success. So that's exciting. And then I've got a solo book, my book Elevate, coming out in August as well, which I will be writing all weekend to get finished.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that you're sharing your wisdom. You know, it's so important to have to give the tools for the people that, you know, they are there and they're ready to make that shift.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what's the best way to get in contact with you, Marissa?
I'm on all of the socials, and if you just type in my name, Marissa Warren, you'll pretty much find me. I'm probably most active on Instagram, and then also on my website, you can find a lot of information about the work I do. And if you feel like this resonates with you and you would like to dive a little bit deeper into what's going on for you and maybe holding you back and creating limitations, or you want to move from where you are to where you want to be, you can book in for a free discovery call and we can have a chat. And I've got a free program as well, 5 Days to Freedom. So I'll share that link with you. And yeah, people can feel free if they want to have a dive into some of the work that I do and get a little taste for it, then that's my gift to you.
Perfect. I will post everything in the caption. And I would like to thank you very much for being here and sharing all this amazing stuff, and, you know, giving it's like the rainbow. It's like, you know, whatever you're going through, there's always the rainbow, right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, life is about polarity and duality, you know?
Exactly. And we have to embrace that as well. I mean, you know, because at some point, I don't know if you remember it, but a few years back, they were promoting all this only happiness and, you know, everything is perfect, that I think that had a very negative impact on people's lives. So I love that now we're coming back to being authentic, to have our flaws and be okay with them, you know, embrace all that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it too.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And we will surely talk again very soon. Thank you, Marissa.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.